Hello!
Liz is behind the camera, and I am very carefully driving while she's filming.
Yes.
We're going on a little field trip today to a special place that I've only kind of just become acquainted with. But I recently had an art piece, a hooked rug, in an invitational show at the Providence Art Club in Providence, Rhode Island. So the show has happened. The show was up for about a month, and we're going to pick it up. So we're going on a road trip.
We're heading to the art club.
You got to come to the art club.
I've never been there. I have friends that are members, and they talk about it, and I'm jealous. I have FOMO, and
it's been around since the 1800s. This art club.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we are. I said, Liz, if you have time on Friday, I'm gonna go pick up this. Sorry, Waze is talking to us. We're gonna go pick up. I'm gonna go pick up this piece, and the building is just so cool and beautiful. And if you want to come, let's do it. And
let's go.
It's a beautiful driving day, as you can see.
Yes, and we figured if I wanted to go, you guys wanted to go too. So here we go.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so as we're driving, I was, Hayley has this piece in this show, and she has had several pieces in shows, and I'm very fascinated by the process of how she gets these things in shows. So I was wondering if she would kind of share with me how that works.
Yes.
And you guys.
Oh, yes, and everyone. So this show is somewhat unique because it is an invitational. So what happened is that there is this man named Michael Rose, and he is the curator at the Providence Art Club, but he also happens to be a writer, one of the creative reviewers, art critic, I guess you could call him, for the Providence Journal. And when I was part of a show a couple years ago, I saw that he came and reviewed that art show. So what did I do? I went online and I followed him on Instagram. And ever since then, because he mentioned some really cool things that I was very interested in, so I'm like, I'm going to follow this person. He's very community engaged, and he started doing. He has a podcast, and he also puts out a weekly newsletter where he has calls for art.
Ooh.
So,
and what was his name again?
Michael Rose, and he's just in this Providence area. He's very concerned with kind of like the community, arts community in Providence, which is somewhat unique because the community is ebbed and flowed at different times. Right now, it's in a little bit of a drought, and he's doing everything he can to kind of like get it back engaged. As far as like the gallery scene and everything like that, RISD's still going strong. Anyway, this is a really long way of saying that when he put out this call just to for artists to that in the area that would like to show. So I reached out to him at that time and sent him some images of my work. And anytime you see a curator looking for work, send your images in, because they will most likely be able to find a spot for you. It's all about just finding the right work for the right show. And so if you have somebody that can do that for you on your behalf and they're not asking for any money, take advantage of that situation. When I first started showing my work, I've done this a few times. I've done it with my painting work, and now I do it a lot with my fiber art work. You want to look for calls for art. So there's lots of different places, especially online, where you can find calls for art. I used to just look at the back of New England Art New England magazine, the printed publication. When I first started, that's one of the places I would look for art, because I knew I could either hand deliver my work, or if I was working small enough, I could mail it, right to a gallery that was somewhat local, wasn't going to, cost me a lot of money. So there's, look at your local galleries. It's not just a matter of sending something to a commercial gallery. There's lots of different types of galleries, libraries, educational opportunities, universities, colleges that look for shows that tend to be these group shows. It's a really good way to start getting involved in showing your work as a group show. A lot of times if it's a commercial gallery, it costs maybe $30 to submit 3 images or something like that. At some point you might kind of move beyond these sort of pay-to-play type of opportunities, but they're a really good way to sort of get your feet wet. Is you might have to pay a little money up front, but you'll be included in like a cool show, and you might even sell a piece that usually galleries will ask you to have your work for sale. So I did that when I first started showing paintings, and a lot of those like pay for play opportunities sent my work all over the United States, and then I did it with rug cooking at first, and now I'm looking for more like bigger kind of show opportunities or more like local show opportunities, just because of the amount of work I have. I want to show it as a body and exhibition. So that's kind of where
that was going to be my next question. Is it difficult to get like a whole show? It depends, I guess, where you want to have it, because we've interviewed other textile artists who have arranged shows at maybe like the Audubon Society or something like that, or the library where they like to have a body of work.
Yeah, it depends on the venue, right?
Yeah.
So like, it depends. It's kind of finding out like where your work belongs. So like the Audubon Society is like the perfect example, because they tend to want work of a certain
the artist that we know has a lot of Audubon type work. Yeah, birds and plants and nature.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of like finding out like what's a good institution for your work is key, and just looking at what that institution has shown before is a really good idea. Same thing.
That's smart. Yeah.
Same thing with commercial galleries. There's some galleries that they want representational art. There's some galleries that they focus on abstract art. So as somebody who works very abstract, colorful work, I look and see what galleries kind of cater to that kind of subject matter. There's also like maybe there's a gallery that does a little bit of everything. If they already have a rug cooking artist, I'm not gonna. I mean, you could apply. Maybe they're trying to be like the place that represents rug hooking artists, or maybe they figure they already have that filled. So maybe you want to try a different gallery that doesn't have a rug hooking artist. So that's kind of twofold. I think just try anything. There's a lot of spinning your wheels. What's a good way to put this when you throw a lot out there but only a few things stick?
Oh yes, Cast a wide net.
Cast a wide net.
Yeah.
But also be smart about it in that, like, if it's a ceramic gallery, don't put your hook right.
Right. Make sure that it's the right net. You're fishing for the right thing. Yeah. Using the right bait.
Right. But when you do send your work away to a gallery or something like that, I know we're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about like commercial galleries, which are different than like institutional types of exhibitions. But you do send your work out there, just know that it's usually not a wasted opportunity unless it costs a ton of money, because they usually keep stuff on file. Like you have to know, like from a curator's perspective, like they file your images in the back of their mind. I mean, they probably have a better way of filing, like literally on the computer. But what I'm saying is like just because you don't fit in one thing does not mean you won't fit in.
And it's still exposure. Like you're still,
So you have an opportunity that's free to send your work somewhere, like a big call for art that doesn't cost a ton of money, or if you have a budget for doing paid call for arts and you still have money in that, send it away. Just do it. For a while, I was giving myself like one call every few months or something like that, like $30 or $10 a month, you could say. To invest in this, and it results. I mean, like people come back, they want you to participate and show your work. So I'm trying to think of what else I can say about that, other than just do it.
Yeah, just do it. I know this is like so good for me to hear. I think people are going to find this very helpful.
Yeah, and I know that we're in this region, the Rhode Island region, so I can share some of the places I look. I don't know if they'll be that helpful for people outside the New England area, but I mentioned Art New England was someplace I looked. You can still look online. A lot has changed in the last 15, 20 years when I started this, and now everything's online. But I was telling Liz earlier that Instagram is a really great way. I've just gone on to Instagram and I follow all the local art institutions that are in the area, and ones I like outside of our area. But that's how you start finding all these calls, is you basically you friend one and the algorithm gives you another. And you're like, oh, I know, like take the example of like RISD. They don't do calls for art. Let's say, RISD, and then it'll give me the Contemporary Art Museum in Boston, and then you can friend that one. And, it just kind of snowballs from there. The same thing with artists I like, and the same thing with, different places or whatever, galleries and things like that. So Instagram's really good. There's other curated lists that you can get on. I look at my local cultural councils for the different states that are around here, and find work that or calls for work that way too.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. It is so nice.
Oh my gosh, we're walking through Providence, and Liz is manning the camera again. And look at these beautiful houses.
If you haven't been to Providence, you really need to come. I mean, I love it.
Yep. So next stop, Providence Art Club.
Okay, going down this hill because it's quite the intense hill. There's Hayley. We could sled down it.
I know.
All right.
Success. Very cool street that the Providence Art Club is on. You can
So
see
neat.
So much of the city.
It's a beautiful view. It's a beautiful space.
And everybody knows this street by that.
This building. Oh, let's walk down and see
let's
this
walk
building.
down.
Okay, we're gonna walk down. Okay, we wanted to take in a little bit more of Providence, so we came to see a local
I don't
landmark.
want to go inside yet. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this building. This is the one. It's so funny. I used to think this was the Providence
Yeah,
Art
me
Club.
too, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a studio. There's
Is that what it was? Oh,
It's famous for.
in front of it. Okay, so now, how long were you?
About like
in the
3-4 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So it was kind of a short show.
And was that piece for sale while it was in the show?
It was for sale.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the Providence Art Club, that's a great question. Usually they take like 30 to 40%.
Okay, that's what I was
Some places
wondering.
take like 50%. So you always have to kind
That's
of
what I've heard.
bump up your prices a bit
Yeah.
for those kinds of commissions. I
Right.
did not sell my piece. I
Well,
have it back.
I'm glad you have it back. Oh, we're totally crooked. Sorry about that.
but yeah, so it was a great, like, for a local show. I could
Yeah.
just drop it off, come pick it up. If it was something where I had to like send it or travel
Yes.
really far, I'd probably want a longer show.
Right,
But
right.
3 to 4 weeks for
It's
a place
perfect.
that's 20
and
minutes away.
exposure. And were you the only fiber artist?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah.
There was one that I remember. I don't want to get this wrong because I know there were some sculptures in there, but one other kind of like textile adjacent mixed media type
Yes.
of piece. But it was on the wall more like a
Yep.
painting.
Yep.
So, anywho,
Amazing.
yeah, glad
Amazing.
to be involved.
Yes.
Oh, get this back in here. Off we go.